Good morning, blue day for my rainbow videos, and also happy St. Joseph's feast. Right, I have a very fond memory of my father who had built our bedroom. He did not go out and buy expensive wood to do that, but he collected scraps here and there from leftovers of other carpenters, broken pieces of furniture. He put them together and he had built this delightful bedroom, which was a haven for us three sisters. I still have very fond memories of playing and sleeping with my sisters in that bedroom. So thank you, Dad, for that beautiful bedroom. So he was a carpenter too, like Saint Joseph, and this did not belong to my father. It's an antique, but it's an antique of Maltese origin, most probably, plain china. Right. In fact, tools have changed very little from St. Joseph's time. Now, this is not going to be a religious video. You can take it in a religious sense, but you can also take it in a literary sense, because I am going to try to interpret Joseph's character, all right, and personality. Now, being a carpenter, he was a resourceful person. What would St. Joseph do if he were living in this COVID pandemic? Well, I imagine he'd look out for crates, pieces of cardboard, scraps of wood, and he'd try to turn them into a beautiful piece of furniture. I'm sure he would do that if he couldn't go out to buy wood, if we had to have a complete shutdown or whatever, and wood became scarce. That's what he would do. So let's try to do that in our homes as well. Look around you. What can you do from your scraps around the house rather than, getting bored at home? He accepted God's will. Now, I said this will not be a religious video for the benefit of those who are not religious as well, but for those who are religious, he did accept God's will. Okay? For those who are not religious, he accepted life circumstances. If his wife came along pregnant and told him, "I'm pregnant, but Joseph, I don't know who's the father," he didn't send her out. He said, "I'll take care of the baby. I'll raise him as my own." Okay? There is a beautiful episode on Call the Midwives, if you like watching Call the Midwives, of a man a white man whose son was born colored. And his wife was really scared, when she looked up into her husband's face and the baby came out of her. And he said, he was silent for a minute and he said, he did this. And then he said, "He's the most beautiful baby in the world." And the midwives and the mother were relieved. Okay, so that gives us a lesson, doesn't it? Right. He was a nurturer. The scene of Joseph trying to find a place for the baby to be born and persevering, knocking at every door, door after door, door after door, door after door. I think I would have been tired and said, "Look, Mary, I'm very sorry. Let's just spread out a blanket or something, and please try to give birth under this tree because I'm tired looking for a place for you to be born in." For you to be born in. Yes, a nurturer, a perseverer. Then suddenly, after Jesus left home and began his mission, we don't hear any more about him. You know how I interpret this? How many of us are ready to let our sons do what they need to do, all right, without butting in, without interfering, without giving that advice? I like to give advice too much, perhaps, and I don't let my daughters shine as much as they should. So that gives us a lesson. He took the he took the back seat, and let his son shine and do his mission. We don't hear any more about him. Yes, I think that's about wraps it all up. All right, now perhaps I would like to reflect a little bit on wood, which is the carpenter's raw material. Trees, all right? Nature is so resourceful. Nature is so kind to us. Even though we treat it badly, it keeps giving us these resources from which we could create art, because carpentry and woodwork is art. All right, these raw materials that come out of the earth spontaneously, hardly ever needing our care, except all they need is rainfall and for us to leave them in peace and grow. And they give us these beautiful trees, and from the trees we can have such beautiful works of art. So happy St. Joseph's Day. Enjoy the day today. Perhaps it's the day to bake some zeppoli. I love them. All right? Send me some virtually. Thank you. Bye bye.